Good morning everybody and welcome to this European session on Thursday the 29th of August. Hope you're all well and hope you're doing well in the markets this week as well. It's been an interesting week actually. We did highlight probably a bit more choppier price action as we see out the end of the month. Not that many news announcements on the economic calendar, but it's still been a pretty decent week already. So we've had the break-even trade on Canadian Swiss. We had the 2-to-1 reward to risk on Euro Swiss to phase changer. We had a 1 unit of risk loss on the Nasdaq on a twin flip. We've had a winning trade on the market breakout strategy on pound New Zealand. A couple of orders which haven't actually triggered. Some things that were trading at lower risk. So it's actually been a pretty decent week, and if you can eke out gains in weeks like this, then you're actually doing very, very well. And that's just through these webinars alone. And of course, you've got all the other live trading webinars to participate in all the live trading with the team as well. So let's see what's actually going on in the market today and keep you updated all the biggest themes and potential trading opportunities to keep an eye on. So first of all, overnight, we have the ANZ Business Outlook sending the New Zealand dollar soaring higher. And the ANZ is basically the acronym for the Australia and New Zealand Banking Group. And they do a survey, it's a business outlook survey, and it surveys 1,500 to 2,000 businesses on their 12-month economic outlook. And basically it's an index on surveyed manufacturers, builders, retailers, agricultural firms and service providers. So it's a leading indicator of economic health, as of course business conditions force businesses to either purchase more materials or spend less in the economy, depending on how they see different economic conditions. So the result of 50.6 is actually a 10-year high. It was much better than expected and better than last month's report of 27.1. So it's a very, very strong report for New Zealand, and it sent the New Zealand dollar pair soaring higher, which actually has been on our radar anyway if you've actually had been trading throughout the week, especially if you're trading the fast time frames. Okay, so for your fast time frame webinars, you probably would have noticed that if you're building your watch list at the end of each day, what pairs would you have on there? You would have Aussie Kiwi, Euro Kiwi, Pound Kiwi, all crashing lower, multiple time frames all going down. So if you're a fast time frame trader, you should be able to see that correlation, and you should actually have been able to see the building of positions in the New Zealand dollar before this news announcement even came out. So the market does tell us everything that we need to know, and it's actually quite nice when you're trading something and then something happens and that's the reason why everything was going lower or everything was going higher. So we'll be looking for the continued strength in the New Zealand dollar. This actually helps our pound New Zealand trade that we took together on the market breakout strategy earlier in the week. That actually helped that to continue to push lower overnight and hit the target level. Also, we do have a US preliminary GDP report released today at 1:30 p.m. UK time. So we're starting to get into more higher impact news announcements of the week now. So this is going to become very interesting, especially for the US dollar, where the biggest theme has been. And GDP is basically an acronym for gross domestic product, and it measures the annualized change in the value of all the goods and services produced by an economy. There are three versions of the GDP report. You have the advanced, preliminary and final GDP report, which are released a month apart. Now, there are no changes expected to last month's 2.8% GDP figure. But here's the thing, okay, so if there's no changes in the report, then we'll probably just see a bit more sideways price action, because we know the dollar pairs have been really, really big trends, but they're just in stabilization patterns right now. They're just in ranges really, okay, because we're so far into the move. There's still algos, buying the dips and so on, but not as much volatility in those right now. So the key here though is if there's a big surprise, right? If there's a big surprise to what people are expecting, that's what causes big moves in the market. Just like we saw in New Zealand dollar. No one was expecting the business outlook report on the New Zealand dollar to reach a 10-year high, considering all the economic situation that's happening in the world right now. Because that was such a big surprise, it sent the New Zealand dollar soaring higher. So in this instance, sometimes on a news announcement, nothing happens if everything's just as expected, but you want to keep an eye out on the ones where there's a surprise which catches everyone off guard, because that is what can lead to the big moves. And of course, we don't trade the big moves because you're only going to know it's a big move after the news announcement, right? So obviously, you're only going to know it's a big move after the news announcement, but we often get follow through. That's the key. We can't predict what's going to happen next. We can't just react within a few seconds and beat the algos. But of course, if it's a big surprise, people need to readjust their portfolios, and that can lead to some flows and trends developing afterwards. So we want to see the flows that develop after those really big surprises. That's always going to be the key. So of course, I'll keep you updated on anything like that throughout these different webinars. All right, so let's dive into the market and let's see what's happening inside of smart charts. Okay, so keeping on the US dollar theme, we have Euro US dollar, something that's been highlighted from the London and Sydney trading floors. And there's a couple of things that are going on here. On top of what smart charts is finding, where we have potential clues of sellers turning up and continuing this move lower, there's also a few other things going on here as well. So if you look at the higher time frame, we can see we're in this really nice sort of up move. And this is what we've been talking about. You know, the US dollar's been very weak, which is why Euro dollar's been pushing higher. We're in really strong trends. But, you know, we've been in this kind of stabilization period. You can see we're not in that trend anymore. You know, it's moving up and down, a bit more volatile, a bit more choppy. So in this instance, we've had price breaking through this support area. You can also see that price is finally below these moving averages as well. So we do have some bearish signs here on the higher time frame, the 4-hour charts. Price is now below the moving averages, where buyers was actually, they were buying off the moving averages before. We've broken through major support levels as well. So we have some signs that maybe sellers could turn up to the market and buyers are no longer in the market. And we can also see that on the way down on this 15-minute chart, we know we like to be trading when price gets into this moving average zone, all right? So in this instance, very choppy price action, but we're looking for something like this. You can see here that on the way up, price was bouncing very nicely off this moving average zone, leading to that trend higher. Okay, now we've broken it, now we've broken it, and broken it here. But now we're going to be looking for clues to see, okay, are we going to get some bounces off this moving average zone again? And are we going to get a repeat of what we saw here on the left hand side, but maybe towards the downside? All right, so we'll be looking for these clues to develop in a trend. We're looking for this situation here. We're going to protect our capital, but at some point the trend might continue. So we've got some signs here that maybe we could push to the downside. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye out on these moving average zones to see if sellers are actually going to turn up here. Right now we're just hovering around it, so we're going to be prepared if sellers do turn up and continue this move lower. So of course, smart charts is going to help us with this. First of all, in identifying the potential opportunity, but also in the risk management, because if we press the sell icon, it will populate the entry price of the blue dot, stop loss of the red dot, target the green dots. These can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences. Sometimes people like to move their stop losses and take profit levels. It's fine. Also, you can set your expiries. I like to set a 4-hour time period expiry on pip runners, just to give it time, you know, for the market to sort of continue to move, all right? Because it's a 15-minute chart. So we want to give it time to continue to move. We're dealing with more of a slower volatility, low volatility paced markets. And most importantly, the risk management work, okay? Making sure that risk management is always being done properly. We keep our risk low so we can handle the random distributions of wins and losses, all right? So that's going to be very important. And click a button, all that risk management work is done. That's great. So we'll keep an eye on some of those dollar pairs to see if we can get any continuation developing. Of course, as we get closer to the news announcement at 1:30 p.m. UK time, the GDP news announcement, we don't want to be too heavy in taking new trades in the US dollar, just in case it is a bit volatile. You know, we've got to make sure we protect our account, all right? So just be mindful of that, but we're quite far away from that right now. Also, we have been trading a few things on the market breakout strategy, and well, the last one was obviously the pound New Zealand that we went through yesterday with price in this holding pattern, but we're looking for price to actually break through because we had a lot of these big lower high cycles developing into smaller lower high cycles. So it's like pressure is building for sellers to kind of break through this neckline and continue to move. So that was actually nice. And then we had the New Zealand dollar news announcement, which actually helped this to push lower the New Zealand dollar to soar. So now we'll be looking for continuation, and let's see if we get any momentum cycles. So maybe now we can get some momentum developing. We'll look for some phase changes and T waves. But of course, we've been dealing with more higher volatility cycles. You've probably been trading more body bounces, power pivots, market breakout strategies, and so on. All right. And we have been looking at pound against the Canadian as well. So I had a few orders on here where buyers haven't actually turned up, which is fine because we're dealing with bigger cycles. So this can happen. Sometimes you might be placing orders and they expire because no one turns up, but then the trade sets up the next day and you place another order. So sometimes that will happen, and that's completely fine. All right. So we have been highlighting pound against the Canadian. That technically here on the left hand side, you can see that price got above the moving average zone, buyers turned up. Price got into the moving average zone, buyers turned up. All right. At the end of the trend, finally it's going to break through the moving average zone. That's fine. But now we're back above the moving average zone, aren't we? And we've been looking for clues to see if buyers are going to turn up here again and continue this move higher. We also like the fact that the Canadian dollar is a commodity currency pair, and the weaker oil prices can lead to a weaker Canadian dollar. So there could be a bit of a fundamental theme, a narrative that could start to unfold there as well. We also have this daily ascending triangle formation developing, where we're looking for price to sort of break through it as well. But the key is here is that we can see that buyers have been turning up in the moving average zone before, and we're looking for clues now to see if buyers are actually going to turn up here again. So again, smart charts will help us, giving us an entry at the blue dot, stop loss at the red dot, target the green dot. Those can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences, of course. It would also help by doing the risk management work as well, making sure we keep the risk low to ensure you can navigate the random distributions of wins and losses that develop throughout the course of the month. And we can also set an expiry. We can set an end of day expiry on this one because we're trading off fractals, so we're waiting for like a momentum high cycle to develop to get us into a longer term trend. All right, so we give it a bit of time for like buyers to actually turn up. And of course, if you're not familiar with the strategy, then of course, speak to your coach in your coaching sessions, or check out the e-learning portal section of Smart Charts, or attend one of the webinars, and the team will be more than happy to help you guys out. So in this instance, let's see if we are going to get buyers turning up in this moving average zone again, and we can get a nice little run that could start to develop, because we have a similar pattern to what's developed here on the left hand side, potentially developing here on the right hand side. So let's see if we get that continuation. All right, that's it from me. So thanks for tuning in. All the best for your trading. Bye for now.